Lots of natural plants along Hyena Area. Sort of a black soil area, so there's lots and lots of natural water holes that have been made by animals, which is a very long process. To actually back the natural water hole. It can be started by an elephant just walking through in a wet area or a marshy area. There's a very, very big pothole. And something will come and drink or wallow around in that pothole and make it larger, and again it goes on. Oh yeah, folks, welcome back. We had quite a bad signal pitch on Hyena Road between Belfast Line and Central Road. So we are on Central Road heading west towards Gowrie Dam at the moment. And David wants to know why we call Land Rovers Jigger. And Dave, we only have one Jigger Land Rover. This is not called Jigger, but I call it Jigger because I'm still used to the Jigger. Oh, no. So I'm not too sure if this particular Land Rover has given a name yet, but
Ganda.
so now, okay, now it's called Ganda. So this is Ganda, which means tractor Dave. Ganda because the engine sounds like a tractor engine. That's what most of the Jima ranges say. And we call Jigger the Land Rover, the petrol engine Land Rover Jigger, because Jigger basically means driving around and looking for animals. That's why it's called Jigger, because we don't have trackers to get off the vehicle and follow animal prints. So we drive around with both Land Rovers, Jigger and the Ganda, looking for animals to show you guys. There's a whole family of Mutiktor. The dwarf mangoes. In Shangaan we call them Mutiktor because of them big noses and sharp noses. As you can see, very cute little creatures here, the dwarf mangoes. So they're setting themselves up nicely on top of the termite mound. And the next hour or two or so, and they will start moving around looking for food. Generally, they don't forage for food too far away from the home. And the reason for that is because they are extremely vulnerable to the big birds of prey, and leopards also hunt them. Jackals hunt them. That's why they tend to stick around nearby the homes, just for in case the danger comes through, and they'll run quickly into the holes to protect themselves from the enemies. They've got a nice shining coat because they also groomed themselves, especially in the early morning when they're waiting for the sun to warm up just before they go out to look for food, and then they'll spend time grooming themselves. And I read an article about the dwarf mongoose, and they said, and when the queen dies, and the rest of the females will compete for that position or to be the queen. And what to do, then they help each other to groom themselves, and they'll go and present themselves to the king, and the king will obviously choose the nicest one. So it's very interesting if that is true. So they're very, very vigilant, yeah. Always looking around. If one spots a predator, and it'll give an alarm call to the rest of the colony, and they will immediately run back into the holes. Nice, let's move along. Bye, mongoose. McDonald's of the bush. Just the 2 males. They might be the part of the large breeding head of impalas that we often see around quarantine. Maybe they still haven't returned to the herd. Since they lost the fight in the beginning of the rutting season. Some male impalas take a while to return to the herd, and some male impalas return immediately after the end of the rutting season, which I don't think is a good idea for these 2 male impalas to be hanging around on their own like this. Because they are too vulnerable to the predators. So they might return to the herd soon. Good morning to you, Destiny in California. Nice to have you on board this morning. This is the Nyala on the northern side of the dam. Stop and take a look at the Nyalas. And Destiny wants to know what predators eat the mongoose. And leopards do eat them. And I've never seen the lion cubs hunting the mongoose before. Cheetahs also haven't seen them hunting them. And yeah, it's mainly the leopard that eat the mongoose, Destiny. And obviously the birds of prey, your martial eagle, the tawnies, the petalias, and so forth. Look at that. A large head of Nyala. There's a couple of young males and the rest of the females and the youngsters. There's also a head of impala on the other side of the dam. You can see the part of the head that's moving towards the Nyalas. And the two male impalas that we saw now might join up with this head of impala as they're moving towards Gari Dam. There's no big male Nyala this morning, but we often see a group of 4 or 5 Nyala bulls here at Gari Dam. And the other day we saw them sparring with each other, and it was pretty cool. Nyalas are one of the antelopes that leopards don't often prey upon them for some reasons. Maybe they're too agile. But I know for the fact that the Nyalas have got a very good senses. Got a very good sense of hearing, smelling, and eyesight is also exceptional. Yeah. Gari Dam at the moment. I get copy confirms in Vula. Okay, I'll give it a try. I get copy, thanks man. Mark, can you go channel 4 for Hammond please?
Morning everyone, Mark here in Final Control. Well, for some reason we've lost picture at Gowrie Dam. We shouldn't lose signal here. We have been having quite a lot of signal breakups this morning that are a little bit excessive in some areas where we normally have a fairly good signal. So for some reason we've lost picture. I've got Herman and Patrick working on it on the jigger. So we shall just zoom in to what they were looking at earlier with the Impala and the Nyala. They are running around a little bit. I think it's just a little bit of energy to burn off. See people moving around at the lodge. Possibly that too. Impala rams chasing. They're Impala, no doubt. Can't see those Nyala. I don't know where they've gone to. See if we can find them for you. Alright, I'm going to give you to the sounds of Gowrie, and I'll talk to you in a while.
Alrighty folks, welcome back to the Jiga. Oh, Ganda actually, not the Jiga. Ganda. We just had a call from Andrew, one of the Juma guides, that Villa is back into our concession. We will be making our way towards the area, so we can be lucky. But if he decides to go eastern, and it will be unfortunate. But I'm just gonna give it a try and see how far we can get. Good morning to you, David, again. David wants to know what is the biggest snake I've seen on drive, and what was it? African rock python, obviously, Dave. It's the biggest snake I have seen on drive. The African rock python, still an endangered species. We don't get to see them often. And I've seen a African rock python killing a young female impala in the Manyireti Reserve a couple of years ago. And I've also seen the python killing an impala again in the Sub-Vicente in the south. And again, the python is the largest snake that we get out here. And the scariest snake that I've seen on drive was a black mamba. Black mamba. Very territorial and aggressive snake. Mamba. And a bad experience that I had with the mamba was when the mamba virtually struck my tracker in the Timbavati Reserve. We drive on a windy road responding to lion sightings somewhere in the Timbavati Reserve, and I was driving quite fast to get the sighting in time. Okay, folks, have a picture back. Full picture. Unfortunately, that Vula has crossed over into Tashwood. Just keep making away. That general might decide to cut back into a concession, who knows. For those who don't know Vula is one of the big male leopards that often hung around in the east, in Tashwood area, but very often in the Jima Bush Lodge area, and sometimes he overlaps into Barris Hook. I don't know if he has been into Western Gari before. So he might have been in this area before. I just don't know of. And about 3 weeks ago, we were seen meeting with one of Korean artists in that part of the world, in the and no one knows Tandy had conceived after mating with Vula. We're just gonna have to wait and see in the next 2 or 3 months or so. We don't hear of the new cubs, and that's when we will know that she hasn't conceived at all. Or see signs like lactating, and big stomach, big round stomach. That means that it's a sign of pregnancy. So we'll see how it goes. I've never seen Vula before. Have you physically seen Vula before? I mean, Vula. Yeah. I believe so, yeah. How big he is compared to Mafifnyan and Yambili Udan? Bigger. Back on Cheetah Cut line again. And Villa went into that direction. So Villa means rain. Up to now, and the Fifian simply means mad, madness. Must have been a crazy leopard. During his childhood. Talking to Henry on one of my faster chat, and he said Vula was found or was first seen during the raining season, if I'm not mistaken. But there is obviously something to do about the rain. I'll ask him again just to find out exactly where the name comes from. Okay, folks, those who have just joined us for the last half an hour or so. Oh, the rhino and the baby. Ivo. Oh, it's gone off into the bushes. Tiny, tiny baby. Oh, there's another bull rhino on the right. So we are coming to you live from Ejuma Game Reserve, South Africa. And my name is Patrick, presenting this morning, and Hammond behind the camera, and Mark in final control. So if you've got any question or anything that you would like to know, send your question through to final control safari.tv. There's two rhinos there. Two, four rhinos, or It's 3+1. Wow. I wish you had seen that baby. It's tiny, tiny, tiny. And 4 combi on Chiracat line. 100 meters south of Parkline junction with Chiracat line. Animals are slowly feeding on the fire break. It's getting nice and warm now. I'm just going to go a little bit forward, folks. There's also a youngster on the other side of the bull. So the mother and the calf bolted into the thick bushes to our right. The rhino cows normally follow or do what the calves do. So if the calf starts riding, the mother has to follow. And the white rhino calves normally run in front of the mother, whereas the black rhino calves run behind the mothers. And the reason is it is simply because the black rhinos live in the dense vegetation areas. That's why the babies run behind the mother. It's for the mother to open up the space for the babies to follow. So they haven't gone to sleep yet, these rhinos. So they are going to lie down and take it easy for the day when the sun starts getting too hot. At the moment, it's just starting to warm up a bit. The rhinos, a great deal of grazing takes place mainly in the early morning and in the late afternoon after the sunset. Yeah. Good morning to you, Joe, in Vancouver. Joe is wanting to know how long do rhino, cow, and calf stay together before they separate. It just depends on the sex of the baby, Joe, and if it's a girl or a female, and then they will stay forever with the mom. And those rhinos can also be gregarious animals. I've seen a huge crush of rhino for about 30-35 together in the Kruger. By the way, as the boys or the males will stay with their mother for a few years, for about 7 to 8 years, or a little bit more than that sometimes, before they can actually be separated. But they can always come back to the females. And sometimes you will find the young rhino bulls associating themselves with the older bulls, or a territorial bull rhino in the area. Before they can separate themselves to go and establish their own territory somewhere. Gonna go. Here's the bull. Good morning to you, Keith. Oh, sorry, Rhino. Keith wants to know if there are any black rhino in the Sabi Sand. And Keith, to begin with, and the black rhinos are still very extinct throughout the Kruger National Park, and there's about just over 400 black rhinos throughout the Kruger National Park. And as far as I know, there's been a a report of a black rhino in this part of the South Descent about a couple of months ago. So he came in and out of this area. But the most common rhino in the South Descent, it's obviously the white rhino, these guys. So I wouldn't say that we don't get the black rhinos in the South Descent as they occasionally come in and out of the South Descent. So there might be a black rhino somewhere in the South Descent today or whenever. So it's very difficult for me to say that we don't get the black rhinos in the South Descent. But of course, when the both species do occur within the Kruger National Park. I'm just going to go around the other side. And in the Manyeleti Reserve, there has also been a report of one black rhino, and we have had evidence of tracks of the black rhinos in the Manyeleti. I'm not too sure about the southern part of the South Descent, but the southern part of the South Descent it's a lot more open than the northern part of the South Descent. So that area it's dominated by the white rhinos the most. Forward a bit again. It's very difficult to follow the rhinos when they're grazing because the graze around in circles. I also worked for a couple of years in one part of the Kruger National Park, and in that concession, it was a suitable habitat for the black rhinos, and I only saw black rhinos twice in 2 years. I've also been to the other parts of the Kruger National Park, but I've never seen the black rhino except in our own concession. So they are very, very rare species. And the first time I saw the black rhino in that area, I nearly jumped out of the vehicle with excitement. Flies irritating here.
Go a little bit forward.
Back.
Go back.
One more beggar again. family, the copy about in Combi, to the card line, south or pipeline. The family read. To in Combi on the fire break of Chittakatlan, south of pipeline. Yeah, on the fire break of Chittakatlan, south of Pipeline Road. Yeah, go. Hello, Joe. Joe Square. Joe Square wants to know how tall this rhino. The one that we're looking at now on the right hand side, it's a young female. Now saying, and she will probably about 2 meters in height, shoulder height, or 1.8 meters for the whole day, about just almost 2 meters. And the big bull on the right and on the left hand side will be about 2.2 or 2.3 meters, or a little bit more than that, or even 2.5 meters shoulder height. And the length wise, I would say this young car from the head to the tail, about just over 3 meters, 3.2, 3.4 meters. The bull maybe 4 meters, or 4.2, 4.3 meters from head to the tail. And weight wise, for the big bull, about 2.5 tons. This young cow probably about 1.2 tons. Nice ones. Good morning to you, Dal. Dad wants to know what is the years of the two horns of the rhino. the front one is obviously used for fighting, especially the bulls. Very, very competitive, territorial animals. And in the smaller horn, it's actually protecting the brain. And obviously the facial area, the eyes and everything. Also on the bulls, fighting for territories and females. Because the rhinos fight can sometimes result in death. I've seen that the 2 rhino bulls fighting in the Muleta Reserve and also in the Cypress Sand many years ago, and eventually kill each other. But the females tend to have a very, very long and sharp horns because they don't use the horns for fighting, whereas the bull's horns, it's very, very thick horns and shorter. Because they use it for fighting. We have less than 15 minutes to the end of the drive, and you never know what will come out towards the end of the morning drive. It's getting nice and warm now, so I hope the air mass will start emerging out of the thick bushes to the open areas, and also going to the water holes to drink for the morning. Runners were nice. Huh? So we're obviously not too far away from Pipeline Road this morning because we had the tracks on Pipeline heading east towards Chitakat line. So there must have been a block between Pipeline Road and Central Road. Sure, by this afternoon they'll probably be around Warripan Dam area. It's going to go through the dip here. We might have a little bit of a signal breakups. The guerrillas boys that they found at Galaga Dam this morning headed to the north, the northwest towards Manyaleti boundary. I'm not too sure which one of the two boys. Haven't mentioned the name on the radio. They say one of the guerrillas boys at Galaga Dam. Could be Misha or Renuna, one of the two. Maybe the mother and the other youngster is also up in that area, who knows. We didn't pick up any leopard tracks on Western Garia this morning.
Morning, go on, I'll be back by 3-4.
All the hippers at Belsic Dam today. The Hummingbird still at Treehouse Dam, Hemi?
Sorry.
Hummingbird.
Yeah,
Still Treehouse Dam.
I'm not sure. We haven't been in Treehouse Dam in a while. So we need some breakups there.
Okay. Cars are making their way down into the drainage line. Just to go and find some nice green leaves to nibble on. Oh, shreddy. Okay, let's call it the morning, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks very much for joining us this morning. And it has been quiet in the beginning and during the course of the drive, but we saw some nice rhinos, just two on the end of the drive, which was pretty cool. And thanks very much for all the questions that I sent them through. Hammond, thanks for camera work and for picking me up at the gate this morning. And Hammond, thanks very much for directing, and we'll obviously see you back at the base shortly. And folks, from me, bye for now. I'll probably see you later. Have a good day. Ciao.